Today on Peppercoat Barbecue, we're making some delicious grilled smothered chicken. We're grilling over live coals today that is set from B&B lump oak. We'll be grilling these 2 large chicken breasts, and I've applied olive oil and Kinder's Santa seasoning to both of these. And I'm just going to wrap them up and let them marinate till that fire's ready. I sliced up half of a sweet onion, 1 red bell pepper. I diced 3 pieces of bacon. And I covered all of that with olive oil and mixed it around a little bit. Sorry, no glove. Then I dashed that with Blanco by Meat Church. Once the fire was going good, spread out the coals. Now we're ready to grill. This chicken's been marinating in this Santa seasoning from Kinder's and some olive oil for probably about 30 to 40 minutes now. And I've got my grate several inches up off of the coals. These are some pretty fat pieces of chicken, so I'm going to cook these kind of slow. Chicken's only been on for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. See, we're getting some color on the bottom side. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I got us a 50-50 oil butter blend with some more of the Kinder's Santa seasoning mix in here, and we will baste the chicken with that as it continues to cook. And our griddle top over here now is up to 354 degrees. So we're going to dump in this little mix that we diced up with the peppers and the onions and the bacon. So don't think just because you don't have a Blackstone that you can't enjoy some griddle top cooking. So I've had my Blackstone for, I don't know, a couple of years now. Maybe a year and a half, and I kept putting it off. I didn't buy one because I thought that I would never use it. Turns out that I use it more than I use anything. I probably use that Blackstone 3 times a week to make dinner. But before getting the Blackstone, this is the way that I would cook vegetables or bacon. I would do it right here over the fire on the grill, and you can do the same. One advantage you have to doing it this way is you do get a little bit of that smoke, that wood flavor that comes up onto the vegetables or whatever that you're making here on your cast iron skillet or griddle top. One of the disadvantages, though, is you do have a flame down there, so if grease comes out or if you get too much bacon and grease starts overflowing, you can have a disaster pretty quickly. Internal temperature on the chicken's up to 132 degrees. We want to go to 165, not a bit over that. And what I'll actually do is around 158, 160. I'm going to take this chicken off of the heat. I will transfer it over here on this griddle plate, put our peppers, onions, cheese, and everything over it. And then we'll put a pan over top of that to capture the heat and let it melt that cheese. But what I want to do is slow the chicken down a little bit, and I want to speed up the browning process on my peppers and onions. So I'm going to move my fire around a little bit. I'm just going to bring some of my coals, some more coals over here underneath my griddle plate. So we'll get more heat on this side. And at this point, there's enough radiant heat coming off of these fire brick that I have in the bottom of the Santa pit to finish cooking this chicken. We'll start basting our chicken. I'm going to move this butter and olive oil off of the heat now since it's melted. This should be nice. Make this nice and moist. Give it a nice flavor. Again, got a little more of that seasoning in there. Sure does smell good. We're at 159 in the back and 157 in the front. I'm going to take our peppers and onions. I'm going to slide them up here kind of to one end of our griddle plate. And I'm going to bring these over. Maybe flip them one more time. Let's turn them opposite directions. And now I gotta get some cheese. I'm gonna put a piece of provolone right on top of the chicken. Take our spatula. We're gonna put some of these peppers and onions on top of these. Oh man, that's looking good. I'm going to throw a piece of American cheese over top. Maybe drizzle just a little more of this butter, olive oil, and the seasoning over that. Why not? We got it. And then we're going to cover this up with a pan for just a couple of minutes. Let that cheese melt. And that is so tall, it's actually hitting the top of that pan. So our cheese is probably going to stick to it. Tell you what, I'm going to hold it up off of it a little bit. And check it out. There is our grilled smothered chicken. All right, I brought this over here to give it a try. Let's cut it open. It sure does smell good. The chicken's nice and juicy on the inside. Man, that looks great. Let's get a little bite here. All this cheese. Man, this thing's a mess. Oh man, that is good. All those seasonings just go together perfectly. And that cheesy bite and the peppers and onions, it's almost like that you had bitten into a Philly cheesesteak with chicken. A Philly, what would that be? A Philly chicken steak with no bread. This is really good. Give it a try. You don't have to have a griddle top. You can do it right on your grill over the open flames. I'll see you next time on Peppercoat Barbecue.